I moved that off too soon. So, when we make changes to the Open Toolkit, a lot of what we want to do is we need to, well, the place we kick off our looking at how this transform happens, we need to look at Integrator. Integrator.xml, and this is the file that contains the changes that are applied to the Open Toolkit to run this help. And we can actually right-click on this and bring up my favorite editor. And here is where the target DITA to Webhelp is defined. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is it's really important to see these are the targets that this depends on, provided you can read ant. The important thing here, whether or not you can read ant, I can show you this. One of the things it invokes is ditatopics.xhtml. What this means is in order to build the HTML files that are included in the help, it's actually just using the standard, ordinary DITA Open Toolkit XHTML output. So that part is essentially handled for us, and there's a lot written on modifying that. And in fact, we've done several papers. We have a paper and a webcast that you can download or you can view on hacking the DITA Open Toolkit. And a lot of it focuses on the changes you can make to this transform to get things changed in your files. Once this is, once your actual files are converted, then there are two other targets that are defined, and one is map to Webhelp, and the other is topic to Webhelp. So if you're transforming a map, this then takes your DITA map and processes the XHTML files to generate the actual help set. If you're just doing a topic, then this target then converts your topic into the Webhelp. So this is what I've gone through. We add target to DITA to Webhelp, or adds the DITA to Webhelp target. We invoke DITA topics via HTML output, and we have our Webhelp targets. Now, these Webhelp targets, again, if you're interested in getting down at this level, and it's just good to know the flow through here, these targets map to Webhelp and topic to Webhelp. These are actually implemented in the Webhelp file. Hang on a second. That's right, in Webhelp build.xml. I'm just opening it up. So here we have the build. Sorry, I'm being distracted here. Here we have the build.xml file, and you'll notice in here, this is where we here is where the index terms get pulled out and turned into the index file that is used by the Webhelp. And, oops, I just dropped something here. So one thing to notice actually is that this file itself, if you notice some of the files, the references to HHP, HHC, so this was actually built from the files that are used for building the Chum help. But one part that's used in here is this pipeline where we extract our index. So once we extract the index, then all of the files are processed by another target called gen-webhelp-param. And gen-webhelp-param, this is actually the process that turns all of the various HTML files into the files for your Webhelp. This creates a series of data files. They are JSON or JavaScript data files that contain things such as the index, the search, and the table of contents information. So if you needed to make some changes in those files, and I'm thinking the way my mind works, the way I'm oriented is to looking at the search, if you needed to modify or add a new search engine, then you have to consider, do I want to dive in here and actually and modify the output for search? So we'll turn to that in just a few minutes. So, and when that the gen webhelp param is run, it actually runs a Java file, xmwebhelp.jar, and this creates the JSON files, as I said, for the talk, the index and the search. Stepping back a bit and looking at the webhelp itself again, it's actually nicely, simply organized. It's a single page, so it doesn't use frames. I think that's really good. Most of the information on the page is laid out with divs, and then the actual content is an iframe. And so we can look here, and using one of my favorite tools, other favorite tools, we have Firebug. Firebug is a plugin for Firefox, and it's a very good way of looking at files and understanding what's going on inside your HTML. So we can see here we have our body, and notice if I highlight one of the div, it'll show you the area that that div relates to. So here we have, there's a div for the header. So this is or what we call the navigation area. And then there's a div for main. And main, we can see, is divided into two basic areas. There's a div for what's called the tools area, and then a div for the content. And if we open that div up, we can see here's the iframe that's actually used for pulling the content, the actual XHTML file in. So the first question might be here, then, what can I change, or what can you change on the navigation pane? So by the navigation pane, we mean the upper area of the help. And most of the files that we want to look at changing are in Webhelp Customization Common. So let's just take a look first at the documents and settings files. So here we are back to application data, softquad, XML share, DITA, Webhelp. And in here we have Webhelp Customization Common. And so this is where a lot of the files that we're going to modify are. Now in the first place, while I'm here, I should point out, this is the index.html file. This file is used for building the actual, the main file for your help. So the file that we're looking at right now, it's called hierarchy.html, but it was created based on this index.html. We'll take a look at modifying this in just a minute. Now, if we wanted to modify the background images that are used in the title bar or in the navigation bar, we can actually swap those images out. So you notice here there's a nice gradation in this green from dark green to light green. So that's done by a